Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to my channel. As you guys can tell from the title of today's video, I'm finally doing my January wrap up. Yes, January was a very weird month for me. The beginning of February was also very weird, so we're just now getting around to it. But I didn't read a whole lot, but some of the books that I read really blew me away, so I'm really excited to talk to you guys about them today. Some of them were library books, some of them were borrowed books, so for those I will put pictures right here on the screen for you. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. The first book that I want to talk about is Revan, which is a Star Wars The Old Republic like tie-in novel. I have been playing a lot of Star Wars The Old Republic online and really loving it, so naturally I wanted to also pick up the books. I do have the second one, which is called Deceived, or second in chronological order, with me as well. I borrowed that from the library, but Revan obviously follows Revan. He is a Jedi turned Sith turned Jedi again. His story is incredibly interesting, and this book more so follows the aftermath of that. I'd be really interested to find a story that follows like the entirety of what happened to him, but this is sort of after he becomes a Jedi again. But I did find this very interesting. The only downside to this book is there's a Sith in the story that he does end up working with. I'm not going to go into who it is because I don't want to spoil it for you guys in case you do want to read it, but I found him a little bit more interesting than Revan. That still made the book incredibly enjoyable to me, but I wish it would have had more Revan, less Sith, or the Sith had his own story, but I don't think he does anywhere, so that's kind of sad. But I still really did like this. I ended up giving it 4 stars. It was really well written. From what I've heard, however, if you want to read some of the Old Republic stuff, the audiobooks are where it's at. Apparently the audio, they have sound effects, they have a full cast. Apparently it's amazing, and I would have loved to have read it that way, but I didn't think about it when I started reading the book. But I'm going to continue with my read of the Star Wars universe. I'm going to try to read it in chronological order. If you are interested but you are a little bit intimidated, if you do pick up one of the books, in the front of the book it actually has how to read them in chronological order, so it kind of breaks down, if you want to follow the journey of Star Wars, it breaks down how to do that. The next book is a book that I do have with me that I'm so excited that I got. I actually pre-ordered this book and I'm really happy that I did. It'd Fence Volume 2. This is a comic book. I loved this. The art style in these comic books never cease to blow me away. They're very colorful, they're very well drawn or done on a computer, however they do it, but this is a fencing comic. This is the second one in the series, so I'm not going to go too much into what it's about, but essentially it follows our main character. He is a kind of like runt. He's like an outcast. He doesn't know who his father is, but he goes to this prestigious fencing academy and he's trying to fight his way up to become an important fencer, essentially. He's a great fencer, but he has some technical difficulties with just like his technique and such, but it's really fun watching his journey. And I really like this book because there is a little bit of representation, but it's done in a really, I don't know, like a really smooth kind of way. Like you just grow with the characters, and I really like this. I like our main character. I like our bad guy. He's supposed to be the bad guy, but I like him as well. It's just a really fun, like fast read. If you're interested in sports comics, I think this is one that you'll really enjoy. Now the next book I read is a book that I don't have with me because I borrowed it from the library. I was kind of on a romance kick this month and I don't really know why. I think I just wanted something kind of light and fluffy to read, and that's kind of where I landed. So I read Paris for One by Jojo Moyes. I don't know how to say her name. I'll put a picture here on the screen for you. I loved the story that like the book was based around. So it follows our main character and she kind of sets up a date with her and her boyfriend, like a weekend away to Paris, but he's kind of a shithead and doesn't show up. So she's left in Paris by herself. And the thing about it is she's very neurotic like I am. So she's like worrying about what's happening, like worrying where he is, what she's gonna do, and she's trying to go home, but she ends up and like staying and kind of falling in love, and I thought it was really cute. That story by itself I would have given like 4 stars, but the issue that I had with this book afterwards is there were some stories kind of thrown in there, like some short stories. Some of them I really loved, some of them I really hated. So I just rated this book at 4 stars based on the namesake title of the book. So I rated it on Paris for One, and I really enjoyed it. I think it was what I needed at the time, and it was very fun and very cute and very fast paced. I read it in a day at work and I really loved it. Now the next book I read might be my favorite book of the year. I just really loved this book. It is It is Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating by Christina Lauren. This is a duo group of writers. It's two ladies that write these books together, and this follows Hazel and Josh. Primarily Hazel. It is sort of a dual perspective book, but I feel like Hazel's definitely our main character. Hazel's very all over the place. She's definitely very eccentric in a way, her and her mom. Her mom's a good supporting character in this, but she is very fun. She's like a teacher. She's just really wild in a way. And there's a boy named Josh who is her best friend's brother, but also somebody that she used to know from college. And they meet again and they decide, well, Hazel kind of decides that they're going to start double dating with people to find people for them, because they are absolutely 100% not going to date. Now, I don't want to ruin this story for you guys. You just need to read it if you haven't. But it was so cute and I really, really liked it. It's definitely a romance novel. I liked the ending of the book. I really loved the characters. Obviously, I gave it 5 stars because I fawned over it. I read it in a day. I absolutely inhaled it. I think it was just done so well, and I thought it was very interesting, and I thought it was very lighthearted and cute and fun, but also had some more touchy things that are in the book as well. But I truly, truly loved it, and if you're interested in romance at all, I think you'd really like this. The next book I read, which I need to add to Goodreads at some point in time, is Me Before You, also by JoJo. I'll insert a picture here. I have seen this movie all over the place. I just didn't know really what the book was about, and I wanted to pick it up because it was available from my library on Kindle, essentially. And I really liked it. It follows our main character. She is really like down home, doesn't really want to leave, you know, her city, and she ends up taking a job after losing hers. She ends up taking a job taking care of a man who is a paraplegic. And if you're not familiar with the story, essentially they kind of end up falling in love. And it was really cute. I wouldn't say it was like revolutionary in terms of books that I have read so far this year, but it was still very fun. It did take my mind kind of off of things, and it really made you thankful for the life that you have and the abilities that you have, like to be able to walk or to feed yourself or to bathe yourself or to just be able to get in a car and go somewhere new and experience something. It made me, I think, with what's going on in my life, it made me really thankful just that I'm still alive, essentially. I really liked it. I definitely want to watch the movie. I don't know if it's on like Netflix or anything, but I want to see kind of what they did with the book to movie. And I don't know why this isn't on my Goodreads. I should probably add it, but either way, I thought it was really cute. I'd probably give it 3 stars, 3.5 stars. So I'm gonna go to 3. There wasn't a whole lot that I didn't like about it, but it wasn't like, it didn't grip me, and I really wanted it to grip me. The only character that I truly cared about was the paraplegic, and our main character did kind of bug me a little bit. She definitely was very, I don't want to say like argumentative, but she was very like stubborn in a way, and I don't really like stubborn characters. But either way, it was a fun read. I don't regret reading it, so I really, really liked it. The next book I read, I'll put a picture on the screen as well, is Backstage Volume 2. As you guys know, this is a comic book that I found towards the end of last year, and it follows boys who are the backstage, essentially crew of this like theater production at their school, and it's an all-boys school. Oh my god. So the series is more of a like spooky kind of series, at least this volume was. Their backstage that they run has a door that you can go through, and in this door you can find other doors, and it leads to some magical places, some terrible places. In this volume, without giving too much away, someone from the past comes back and starts wreaking havoc. But what I really like about this series are the characters. I think the characters are so thought out and so adorable, and there's representation, and it's cute. And there were other characters introduced in this volume that I also really, really enjoyed. So if you're looking for a book with a little bit of representation, but also just fun and kind of supernatural spooky, I think you really like this comic. And it's also drawn wonderfully. It's very bright and colorful, like full page, and I love, love, love comics like that. And I think I gave this one 4 stars. Now, the last book I read in the month of January would be Waco Vultures by Lila Bowen. This is a series that I actually requested to read from Orbit because I'd heard good things about it, but didn't really know what it was about, and I was pleasantly surprised. I ended up giving this 4 stars. This was our pick for a quarterly book club, and I will definitely be continuing with the series in the future. But it follows our main character, Nettie. She is an Indian who's kind of owned by a family, but they like to act like they're her parents, but they're not good parents. And one day she is out in like the barn behind their house, and like on the farm, and a man shows up and she ends up killing him, like wrestling with him and killing him, and he bursts into sand. And you kind of realize then that there's like vampires, and I was like, wait, what? So this book is vampire slash supernatural, mostly supernatural. There's a ton of different supernatural beings in this book, as well as it is a western. So they say, you know, like really westerny things, like you can definitely see like the tumbleweeds rolling across the screen like as you're reading this. I really liked it though. It's definitely a book about finding yourself, but also about what your world consists of, what you think the world consists of, and then what the world actually consists of, and being open-minded to that. And I mean that in a who people truly are kind of way, because at one point in time Nettie finds out someone that she knows is gay, and she's like, that's like, in a way she kind of is more shocked by it than she thinks it's wrong, and she starts like internally grappling with it. And I liked the journey of that. I liked the things are not what I thought they were, but I'm going to adjust and try to be open-minded about it. And I think that's really what the story was about, and not shoving yourself in a box, and not, you know, trying to put so much pressure and strain on yourself and other people, because Nettie also struggles with being a boy and being a girl. And I think that's like a theme of books that I really liked this year. When I read The Wolf and the Whale, our main character Amat struggles with that too. So I think it's just like a good mix of both for me, and I really like this, and I'm really excited to pick up the second one. I just can't wait. Alright guys, so that is it. That is everything that I read in the month of January. I'm making good headway in the month of February. I have a few books that I want to finish that I have been reading for like 3 months that I still have but haven't sat down and finished. Kingdom of Ash is one of them. King of Scars is one of them. The Stand is one of them. What am I doing with my life? But that is going to be it for today's video. Let me know down below your favorite read in the month of January. Also let me know how your month is going. I'd be really interested to hear it. But I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!